Hey guys, welcome back to Current Crisis. I have such a crazy topic for you guys. But before we jump into that, please rate and review, hit follow, and subscribe so that you know when I post. Today, we are going to be talking about brain rot summer. That's right. What is brain rot summer? What is going on? Why are we unhappy as Gen Z? And why does it feel like the world is falling apart? Well, let's start with what brain rot summer is. Google defines brain rot summer as a cultural phenomenon characterized by the consumption of low quality, often absurd or nonsensical online content, particularly on platforms like TikTok and Instagram. This could be AI or anything else that is potentially harmful. So that is what Google categorizes as brain rot summer, but let's see what Business Insider says with brain rot summer. And it's kind of crazy that we have to talk about brain rot summer, like what is this? But here we are. Welcome to brain rot summer. AI slop has infected TikTok, Facebook, and X. People can't tell even when a herd of bunnies jumping on a trampoline is AI generated. The biggest monocultural moment that we've seen so far was the Coldplay Gate affair, a moment so cringe it could cut through all of our For You pages. I'm watching snippets of vacations gone wrong on TikTok, and Jet2 holiday ad is living rent-free in my head. The internet is piling on Sydney Sweeney and American Eagle with accusations that this ad, Jeans, was actually a Nazi dog whistle, and in the past few months, Katy Perry has gone from Spaced, then to splitting with Orlando Bloom and hanging out with Justin Trudeau. A summer romance that feels like Mad Libs gone wrong. What is wrong this summer? And you guys, I have to preface by saying that I don't think it's just this summer. I think we've been seeing this trend start even as 2024 has been sloping and all of that stuff. And it is sad to see where, as Gen Z, as our generation, we have been in a cognitive decline. I can tell you right now that the amount of doom scrolling we do and the amount of Instagram Reels and TikToks that we kind of take in is not helping with us at all. It is not bringing us closer to anything. It is not making us and helping us touch grass. In fact, it is having a big impact on our mental health. And it is devastating to see what is going on. So the social media impacts. Let's talk about it. Our average time spent on social media. This, guys, is kind of scary, okay? Our global average is about 3 hours per day. The US average is closer to 3 hours and 30 minutes per day. Teenagers around age 13 to 18, over 4 hours daily, and young adults are around 3 to 4 hours per day. And they will likely have their first social media account by the age of 12, which is wild. I don't believe any 12-year-old should have social media. Speaking from a girl doing social media, I am trying to be a light in social media, and I'm trying to use my platform to bring awareness what is happening on social media and the fact that it is not the best of places. So by age 12, that is wild. And then most children age 3 and up are exposed through family shared devices, i.e. iPads and smartphones. Now, what is the effect of this? What is the effect of brain rot summer on our mental health? Well, dopamine addiction. Short-term gratification, likes, comments, hearts, rewires our brain's reward system. Increased anxiety and depression, constant comparison, fear of missing out, and fear of never reaching your full potential. Body image issues. Unrealistic beauty standards, filters, and editing apps are harming our self-esteem. Reduced attention span. Short-form content like TikTok and Reels are lowering focus capability, and sleep disorders. Screen time before bed delays melatonin production. So what is going on? Why are we always feeling like brain rot summer is just the worst thing to happen? Because it is. Let me show you guys some clips of what I'm talking about, what brain rot summer is.
Chimpancinitos dicen bana, nini. Los chimpancinitos dicen bana.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can say...
These are just wild videos that I feel like nobody needs to be watching and are just shoved down our face. But what is brain rot summer? I've told you guys how bad it is, and I've told you guys that it is really just having a mental decline, honestly, on Gen Z's mental health and even millennials. But what is brain rot summer? Well, brain rot summer refers to the summer of 2025's absence of defining pop culture moments, leading to a fragmented feel rather than an undefined trend. Analyst describes it as no breakout song. We had no song of the summer. Alex Warren's Ordinary leads billboards but lacks summer energy, right? It's more of a romance. Major movies are mostly franchise revival, Jurassic Park, Fantastic Four, and I do have to say, guys, the movies this summer did not hit. Okay, I watched Jurassic Park. I did not watch Fantastic Four, but they didn't hit. Okay, we were looking for Barbie, Oppenheimer, which is what these we're talking about. Is in the past couple years, we have seen trends kind of take over. We had the Eras tour. We had no really style this summer. We had no color this summer. It was kind of just like left out there. And not saying that we need to have trends to be a good society or a capable society, but I do think it is really interesting when you see AI taking over social media so much that we no longer have trends, quote unquote, anymore. Instead of shared moments, people leaned into individual niche interests like nostalgic toys like Labubus and more AI generated content. And it is really sad because we are seeing decline of authenticity and just real people and real faces on social media, which is not good. If we're literally just taking in all of this fake content generated to make money for likes and clicks, then social media is no longer a place that we can create and we can find our communities and we can lean into things. It's just falsified. It always has had a falsified sense of nothing here is exactly real, but this has been taken to the next level using AI generation. So what is brain rot in term and concept? Brain rot is slang for mental dullness because of overconsumption of trivial content, especially via social media like TikTok, Instagram, and doom scrolling. In 2024, Oxford University Press named it the word of the year, with usage up to 230% among Gen Z and Gen Alpha, which is wild that we have Gen Alpha. I almost don't even think about Gen Alpha, to be honest, being on social media and kind of having brain rot, which is wild to me that kids so young to be in Gen Alpha are dealing with this as well. There's so many cognitive declines when we see dopamine hits being so fast, and when we don't have that dopamine hit, it's almost like, what am I doing? My worth is being questioned. I have FOMO. I'm not skinny enough, and it's just so devastating to see. Our cultural trends of the last two summers, which was 2023 and 2024, we have little highlights of them. So summer of 2023 reports highlight of bubblegum pink as the domestic aesthetic, thanks to the cultural forces like Barbenheimer and Taylor Swift's Eras tour. The viral Barbenheimer combos, music videos, streaming moments defined a collective experience, and Sony's Eras tour films and memes helped fuel these trends. That was summer 2023. Now we're going to summer 2024. The brat summer trend centered on a lime green visuals and edgy chaotic memes and slang. IG, Skibbity Riz, Sigma that took over TikTok. Late night shows and major mainstream promotions amplified these trends, embedding them into both online and offline culture. Charlie XCX even declared brat summer officially over in mid-2025, showing its long longevity. And it's just interesting to see that we have no trend this summer, which I think is honestly just kind of cultivating a trend of depression and anxiety due to social media. Let me show you guys some people that have had really bad experiences with doom scrolling, the fact that it is so addictive and what they tried to do to get out of it or their experiences with it.
Average person spends 11 years of their life doom scrolling. So I have undertaken extreme measures to stop, and it's working. So here's what I'm doing. Number one, I bought a 60-minute timer. I crank this thing. At the end of the 60 minutes, I write down exactly what I finished. Number two, I downloaded this app called Focus.me on my computer because Instagram and Twitter low-key hit better on your computer. The last thing I did is I completely cranked my phone out. I turned off tap to wake. I turned off raise to wake. I turned my phone screen completely orange, and I downloaded this app called Screen Zen. It's a life maxing summer. I am not going on my phone unless it's for work.
And this is wild that we even have to say, okay, social media is an addiction, and our For You pages and our apps are set up to have us hooked hours after hours, not being able to stop. We aren't using our phones are using us, and it's getting worse by the day and worse by the minute. Gen Z's mental health is in a dumpster fire, let's be so honest. And I can be honest and say that yes, I struggle with doom scrolling. I think we would all be lying if we said we didn't struggle with doom scrolling. We didn't struggle with wanting a dopamine hit every second. Now that I've told you why social media is terrible and brain rot summer is taking over our lives, and it feels like just social media is going down and down and down, and AI is something you can't trust, and whenever you go on social media, everything feels like it's going to explode, let me tell you how to stop it, okay? So the first thing is recognizing what you're watching is brain rot and what you're doing is doom scrolling. Once you recognize that you have a problem, now you can figure out how to address it and how to stop it. Replace scrolling with active dopamine, right? So active dopamine is going to be making a YouTube video like I'm doing right now, write a blog, play an instrument, cook or bake something. Dopamine hit with movement means walking, going to the gym, bike, golfing, and just going on a run and feeling good. Dopamine from real socialization, hanging out with friends, watching a movie with friends, laughter in real life with memes, talking to other people, and just understanding and listening to them. Make your phone boring. Delete TikTok Reels and move them into a junk folder, which I know can be difficult. Obviously, some people want to take that step of deleting their social media and removing that. But if you can't, do time limits. I know that for me, I have set time limits on my phone that it won't allow me past 2 hours, which is really, really good because I need those 2 hours and then I don't need any more. We shouldn't need any more than 2 hours on our social media. And I am a content creator and my job is to watch social media and to be on social media, but I don't have to be on it all the time and it doesn't rule me. Turn off all push notifications. You don't need notifications on. I don't have notifications on. You don't need constant dopamine hits. You will live without it, trust me. Build a life you love list. Right now on my wall, I literally have an entire board. I have a vision board of what I want my life to look like in 2025. And I have stuck so closely to that. I put 10K on there and I got 10K on Instagram when I never would have thought it was possible this year and I hit it midway. You want to build dreams and goals that you can reach. And if your phone is in the way, then throw it away. You can have hobbies like golf and painting and coding and having a pet. Your goals can be with fitness, learning an instrument, business ideas, content creation, and so many other things. You can make bucket list activities. I know the summer is almost over, but even in school season, you can still have time to do things. How many times are we late night scrolling when we literally could read so many books? You can make a list of books you want to read. Pick out one thing to do per day that doesn't involve your phone. Find a bigger purpose. For me, it's my purpose in God. What I'm doing on this platform is to glorify God, not to get dopamine hits. And I'll be very real. Sometimes it feels like I'm doing it for the dopamine hits, and I have to recenter myself, and that's okay. But we need to realize what it is starting from. It is starting from the fact that big companies and big corporations want to have us chained to our devices. They don't want us to be thinkers, to be motivators, to be movers, to strive for something more than that. Because if they know that they can keep us handcuffed to a life that we hate and be miserable and be anxious and be depressed, then they can't control us. Schedule boredom on purpose. It's okay to sit in silence. It's okay to go on a walk without your phone. It's okay to hang out with your friend without having to turn the TV on. Have a mindset shift. How do I stop wasting my time? What kind of life do I want to build? And make a choice today to be the difference in this world. It is okay to be on your phone. It is okay to have social media. But what it is not okay is when it starts ruling your life. And I know we didn't exactly have a bright spot in this, but this is basically what I want the bright spot to be. That you don't have to feel chained to your social media, that you don't have to feel like everything on social media is brain rot, that you can cultivate your For You page to look like your dream life, that you can go on Pinterest and you can see other people baking and being creative and you can get inspired. You don't have to doom scroll all the time and you don't have to settle for a life that you don't want to live while big corporations are ruling your mind. Say enough is enough and live a life that you love. You guys, if you have loved this episode or this episode reached home for you, then I love that. I know that this wasn't exactly political, but I knew I needed to talk about it because so many Gen Z are facing this problem. I talk about politics, I talk about Christianity, but I also want to talk about things that affect Gen Z and young millennials and Gen Alpha in real time. This is a real topic that is affecting a lot of us mentally, physically, and emotionally, and it stops now.